currently traveling as a Canadian, but everybody thinks I'm American. This is my worst nightmare. See, us Americans or USAians, whatever you want to call us, have made a reputation so bad that the Canadians don't want to have anything to do with us. If there's one thing that this World Cup has done, it has inspired Americans to travel abroad and see the rest of the world. But today we're going to be looking at Americans traveling throughout different European countries and getting absolutely stunned by things they weren't prepared for. Some of these are more trivial and others are a little bit more intricate. And some of them might not even make any sense because we literally have them in the United States as well. So, But if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. If you guys are returning viewers, welcome back. Please support the channel by liking this video and subscribing if you have not already. I say this all the time. I make mistakes. I say crazy stuff. I'm always getting my mind blown every time I go out and travel and whatnot. But the biggest thing is A, be willing to learn from your mistakes, and B, have an open mind. And if you don't know something, do a little bit of research. I say it all the time, but what do you guys think? Okay, upon a quick glance, I did not know what the point of this video was at all. It was like hashtag Americans in Europe. I'm like, okay, cool. You're walking down the streets, coffee in hand. What's the thing? What's the culture shock here? What's the thing you guys had to adjust to? But then I looked and I'm like, oh, iced coffee. Iced coffee. Also, how common is it for people to walk around with coffee in hand, commuting from one place to another? I feel like from what I've seen across the internet, it looks like it's more of an American thing to do all that, but I'm pretty sure no matter where you are, people do that a lot. However, it's interesting because I'm living in South Korea and I don't see people do that very often. Like if I'm walking down in Seoul, I don't see people walking with coffee cups in hand and sipping while they're on the phone and stuff like that. It's just not something I see here very often. And so I'm wondering if that's more of like an American thing where we have our iced matcha latte cafe thing walking around the city with our, coffee in hand, phone in the other, calling somebody and stuff in a rush. I wonder if like the coffee thing, coffee in hand out in public, just walking instead of sitting down and enjoying it, is more so a normalcy in America than it is throughout Europe. I mean, maybe there are European countries where that's more common, but I have no idea. You guys let me know in the comments. As someone from Europe, I need you to explain. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on either. I'm not from Europe at all, but like I have no idea what's happening. I'm pretty sure it has everything to do with the type of coffee they have and then them just walking around in Europe with their coffees and stuff. I mean, obviously the Cobblestone was a dead giveaway and like, oh, hashtag Americans in Europe. I mean, that's the only thing I noticed. I'm not even sure if I'm on target with that. Came back from a 2-week trip across Europe. Never found a coffee breakfast place that doesn't have iced coffee. Oh, so I guess completely forget what I said earlier if I even left it in this video. But yeah, iced coffee definitely exists across here for sure. I mean, obviously it has to exist everywhere. It has to be an option. It seems like a viable option no matter where you go. But I feel like maybe a lot of us, even what I just did earlier, we kind of assume, oh, I guess there's no iced coffee here. Why is it so hard to find iced coffee in Europe? Oh my God, every European country doesn't have iced coffee. Maybe that's what it is. But the thing is, they didn't complain about that. They just had their iced coffee in hand walking down the street. So maybe they were making a dig at like maybe finally being able to find iced coffee. This was me last year, literally searching everywhere for ice to put in my coffee, LOL. Oh, so I wasn't far off the marker. It was about the iced coffee. What do you guys have to say about that? Let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, I feel like every place in the world has iced coffee. If they have coffee, I'm pretty sure iced coffee is going to be an option. Maybe. And if not, it's not hard for you to go find some ice and put some ice in that coffee. Super simple.
Wow, would you listen to that peace and quiet? That's so nice. You just don't get that in the city. Bird noises.
We get this all the time. Listen, I am very aware for myself personally, I am loud, okay? I've even made videos in the past talking about how, like, for the most part, I have changed. I'm not as loud as I used to be when I was younger, mainly because I don't have as much energy as I did when I was younger, but I do have a voice that carries for a long distance. And sometimes I'm not aware of my volume levels. I think partially now it's mainly because I'm losing my hearing. It is not good. It's not what it used to be. So I do find myself talking louder just to hear my own voice. And it doesn't help that my laugh is incredibly loud and it probably has been killing my eardrums. All those excuses aside, I am also a loud American as well. I've identified that and I try to work on it whenever I notice that I'm doing too much. And I guess I was in denial with how loud Americans were initially. I'm like, oh my God, like this has got to be a myth. It's got to be a myth. It's funny because a few days ago, my friends and I went out to a restaurant and we're all eating and stuff. It's real quiet except for us. We're all talking. And I noticed that like one of my friends is crazy loud. We're talking and I'm trying to keep my voice down, and I could tell they're trying to keep their voices down too. We're all Americans and stuff. And this dude, I mean, he also has horrible hearing, I'm not gonna lie, but incredibly loud. It was to the point where the other tables around us were kind of like giving us the side eye, like, what the heck? And I'm like, hey man, like, you can calm down a little bit. We're right next to you, bro. You don't gotta talk that loud. He has bad hearing. That's another thing too. I also noticed some people that talk incredibly loud have terrible hearing, and that's just how they are. Whether or not they travel, whether or not they're around people, they talk loud in general. On this channel, we've talked about servers in the restaurant industry. A lot of times servers are going to be pretty loud. They have to project their voice because they're constantly working in busy restaurants, lots of customers, lots of traffic. I mean, depending on the restaurant, to be honest, but for the most part, in busy restaurants, as a server, you have to be loud and you have to project. Also, your hearing might take a lot of damage from all the noise of all the customers around you and the music playing and blaring and whatnot. So that also might contribute to the noise levels. But I've made enough excuses. We're just loud and we need to fix it. You're always talking about a vasectomy. Oh my God. No, we don't. I know that soundbite's been used a lot, but no. You can clearly hear it and you already know. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I've been a lot more conscious recently about trying to pay attention to how my presence affects other people around me. You know what I mean? Too wild, or if I'm too loud, or I'm doing something that might make people feel uncomfortable and I don't know. I try to pay attention to everything around me. So I'm like, okay, cool. I can still enjoy myself, but I'm not impacting my environment. I feel like having a sense of self-awareness is very important. And for a lot of us Americans, when we travel, we're just so excited and we're oblivious to everything and everybody around us, except for the tunnel vision, one thing that we're focused on. So we tend to just throw everything else to the side. We disregard people, we disregard the environment that we're stepping on and walking through. And we don't understand why we get these negative culture shocks. You know what I'm saying? We have no idea why we caused our own negative experience. And the funny thing is, we don't know that we caused our own negative experience. We tell our stories when we come back to the United States to our buddies. We're like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me, blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, I mean, we're all living in delusion. So other Americans like, yeah, that place sounds horrible, man. Oh my God, like Europe just seems like a really mean continent. I mean, we'd say country, but you get what I'm saying? I'm American, but I promise I'm the exact opposite of this, because I'm really shy. But unfortunately, I don't have the privilege to take international trips. I want to get out of the US so bad, though. This is a common sentiment with a lot of people in the United States right now. A lot of people want to leave. It is chaotic. We got the head of the snake of the country just doing all kind of things. I think we won this current war that we're in like 45 times. Current war that we're in, that we started ourselves. We won it apparently 45 times. We win it, then there's a ceasefire, you know what I'm saying? Then something happens where the ceasefire is broken and we're right back at war. And then we win the war again. But people are sick and tired of the shenanigans. Healthcare is diabolical. Cost of living is insane. Buying houses is not feasible. Renting is also not feasible at this very moment. And securing jobs, I mean, the job market is trash. Mind you, I'm American in Europe and I've been here a month. I'm like one of the only Americans I've met. And the British and Australians are so much more rowdy. With love. That's an accurate ass comment. The Brits are pretty loud. Australians, I don't know. I don't think I've ever met an Australian in person ever. I don't know if they're loud or not. And then that also applies to the Scots I've met. Scots are like some of the nicest people I've ever met, but they can be also very loud as well. In fact, I felt like I told you guys the story of the Scottish people I met on the train that were so loud that like the people in the train car in Germany were complaining. They were complaining. It was a bunch of old Germans, but like they were all upset. They're like, halt mal, they were trying to tell the guys to shut the fuck up in the train. And the Scots were so drunk and like they were so vibrant and so lively, you know what I mean? But it was not reciprocated from the Germans in the train. As you can see here, another Americans Are Loud post, because we are loud. Currently traveling as a Canadian, but everybody thinks I'm American. This is my worst nightmare. See, us Americans or USAians, whatever you want to call us, have made a reputation so bad that the Canadians don't want to have anything to do with us. Mexico does not want to have anything to do with us. So it's a testament that we have effectively ruined our reputation in the highest degree. But I will say the World Cup added a couple of cool points until the Belgium-USA game.
Belgium, because we should have won!
Which, by the way, lots of us Americans also agree with the loss that happened with the United States. We were playing horrible, and that's not a controversial take at all. Like we knew we were playing pretty bad. There's just, you know, that loud minority of people in the United States that were like acting crazy. And y'all are doing the same thing here right now with the World Cup, so I wouldn't be talking too much. Uh-oh, our first clap back in the comment section. Of course, there are comment sections that are pretty much adjacent to war zones almost, when you have, like, you know, some people strongly disagreeing with takes like this, you know, hey, Americans are really loud, blah, blah, blah. And you get the Americans in the comments like, we're not that loud. You guys just are too quiet and you need to have more fun. I feel like this is like a common thing that I've seen a lot of people post about. It's not that big of a deal, but it is funny. A lot of us Americans will travel abroad, and then when we land in a European country, depending on what the country is, one of the first things that greets us when we get out of the airport is that dang cobblestone, man. We cannot get over the cobblestone. We love it. Our suitcases don't. All right. I remember when I landed in Germany, I took the train from Frankfurt to Cologne, and when I got out, I absolutely was breathtaking. I loved every moment of it, but I had to, you know, I had to walk to my hotel, which was fine. I love walking, but my suitcase had a different story. Okay. I think the wheels on my suitcase got filed down to the point where they were like almost slanted. And I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah, my wheels just basically gave up. They're like, this ain't meant for us, man. I brought a lot of stuff with me too. So I wound up just having to hoist it for a good 10-minute walk. It wasn't that bad.
My favorite thing about Europe is that they have small bottles of wine. Like perfect for one person, pretty much, and they're less than $5. Like these, perfect size. See, like this is a Barolo, a really expensive bottle of wine, but because it's so small, it's only $9.95. So I can try this really nice bottle of wine for pretty cheap.
She said that bottle is small? That's a small bottle of wine? How big are the bottles you be drinking from, lady? Like what? Huh? That seemed like a regular sized bottle of wine to me. Maybe I'm crazy. What do you mean? That's a regular bottle for 2 to 4, LMAO. That's what I'm saying. That bottle looked normal as fuck to me, but hey, maybe I'm tripping. It looked like a regular bottle of wine. But I guess our size bottles of wine in the United States are a little bit larger. If this is considered a normal size bottle of wine, running back what I know to be a regular size bottle for us Americans, I guess this would be considered small for us. But that did look like a normal size bottle of wine. I also don't drink that much at all. So how big are the American bottles? Huge. Okay. Massive. So actually, you guys probably said it already in the comments, but the standard bottle of wine is the exact same size in both the United States and throughout all of Europe. Both regions actually have adopted the global standard of 750 milliliters, which is about 25.4 US fluid ounces, freedom units. And for reference, the 750 milliliter bottle holds about 5 glasses of wine. So after doing a little bit of research, I'm still confused because it looks like it just depends on where you buy your wine from. Like some wine stores are going to have smaller size bottles. Some wine stores are going to have bigger size bottles. It just depends. I feel like the market that she went to was just selling maybe smaller size bottles because the bottle is actually looked pretty normal to me, but after rewatching the video, I could see how they would be a tad bit smaller than what we have in the United States. But again, I don't drink. From the wine bottles that I've seen, they were significantly bigger, but not all of them. There's a lot of variety when you shop for wine. I don't know if this is true. I'm not sure if you guys are tracking when you guys travel to the United States and vice versa. Are the bottle sizes the same? You guys let me know in the comments. How big are they supposed to be? These are normal sized. Yeah, I mean, they're not supposed to be much bigger than that, but I guess in the United States, our wine bottles are quite sizable. It varies, obviously, depending on which type of wine you're buying, but for the most part, they are a little bit on the bigger side. €10 for a bottle of wine is expensive wine, and just buy the regular bottle. Why would you buy a children's bottle? Don't get it. Okay, so now I'm confused. Are these bottles big or not? Because most of the people are saying the bottles at this supermarket are normal size. That's what I thought as well. Then you have this comment saying, well, that bottle is expensive and it's also not big enough. Actually, a small bottle of wine. So is it small? Is it not? What are we doing?
European TSA is wild. I watched my bag go to the wrong lane. I knew why.
I'm gonna stop you right there, ma'am. I don't think TSA exists throughout Europe. It's not called TSA. Airport security, obviously, but I think everybody's gonna go light her up in them comments.
Was vibrating in there. And this beautiful young woman, she pulls my bag and she's like, "Can I look inside?" Yeah, of course. I'm just like watching her in slow motion. And she pulls it out and she goes, "Is this a microphone?" And I was like, "No, girl, that is my vibrator." And she was like, "Oh." We died. She was like, "Okay, real talk though, do you like it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine, I guess." She goes, "Because literally this morning I was taking my sheets off my bed and I threw it in the wash and I accidentally washed it and I've like put it in rice and I've been trying to like bring her back to life."
What did I stumble up on? What video is this? That's diabolical. That's crazy. I thought that she would have been like, "Oh, okay," like, put it through the scanner and kept it pushing. But she's like, "Oh, actually, I do have a question about this." Man, look, if that happened in a US airport, that would be wild. I mean, I feel like it would have gone very different in an American airport, right? Like, with all of our border control peoples and stuff, it would just be diabolical if, like, and they like detain somebody that's traveling in just to visit the United States and stuff, right? And then the same thing happens, and they're like, and while they're detaining them, they're like, "Hey, by the way, I saw you had a little, your little toy with you. Does it work well?"
Well, she's dead. And we held up the line for another 5 minutes comparing vibrator brands. Thank you, Netherlands TSA.
Netherlands airport security. That is crazy. I didn't even think you guys had small talk like that. That's actually another thing that kind of blew my mind about this whole story. That's a small talk conversation type of thing. What? Okay, maybe like if small talk does exist in the Netherlands. There's no TSA outside of the USA. That's what I was alluding to earlier. I'm glad this comment at least feels the same way I do. You mean airport security? TSA is only the American branding for it. It's unbranded everywhere else. We have to make our money off of everything. And if it's not a brand, we don't want it. Okay? TSA. TSA. Gotta stop using American department names to refer to international things. Europe aren't going to have the US Transport Security Administration, are they? True. And that's exactly what I was getting at earlier. And a lot of these comments are pretty much echoing the same thing. This is not the TSA. It's just airport security. Simple. I mean, airport security exists in every airport. It's just not called the TSA everywhere except the United States. Yes, the country of Europe has the American agency TSA. And I think it's kind of funny. It's a little ironic. The European TSA, like, that doesn't even make sense. Now, obviously, the story that she was telling, interesting as well, because I'm like, this is kind of diabolical. But the second she said
European TSA is wild.
I'm like, yo, what? They don't have that. They have airport security just like we do. Right? But it's not called the TSA. Have you met Americans that have gotten this confused like this before? Because I'm feeling like this is not the only person on the planet that has said this. I'm pretty sure I've said this as well. I'm like, well, I think in general, I don't even really say TSA for the United States either. I just say airport security. Like, I went through airport security, I went through customs. That's normally what I say whenever I talk about my travels. But TSA, I don't really use that. I do use American branding for certain generalized things, but definitely not this. I just knew it was us before you said it. See, that was a big shocker for me. The Netherlands. From what I've heard, very beautiful place. I've been to the Netherlands before. The people and stuff, I just don't really appreciate small talk too much from what I have heard. Now, from what I've experienced, I've had a limited time in the Netherlands, so I really can't say that that even counted. But from what I have heard from good friends that live there, that are from there, born and raised there, small talk's not really like, through the roof over there or anything. In fact, for a lot of people, the social climate seems kind of, a little grim sometimes, like just real mellow, very chilled out. Some people can be a little too forward, too direct. It might be a little bit harsher than Germans. That's what I've heard. I'm not sure how true that is. You guys let me know in the comments down below.